Wu-Tang, I don't know how y'all did it.
Yeah, bro.
But I gotta ask, how did y'all split up album sales to through 9 people?
How you split album sales?
Yeah,
with
like how
niggas?
you had nine rappers. How did y'all split that up?
I mean, you know, it's contracts. It's like, you know, whatever's allocated on his side, he get that. He get a piece of whatever it is. So you do a record with a nigga, it's like, yo, he get his, he on this record, he did that. So now once that's what it is, it's already in the system to make sure whatever yours is yours. So if I come and I want to know about mine, yeah, I got half, I'm 1/3 of that record, or 1/8 of that record, or 1/5 of that record. I might make $5 out of all of that, you know, but that's how it go.
Yeah, people like to know shit like that. Like, yeah, there's a bunch of y'all, a bunch of this. And I'll tell niggas like, yo, remember that time they jerked us for that fucking $100 bill? Niggas paid us $100.
$100 for what?
Fake $100. Fake 100. I think we was in Texas. One of them motherfuckers, it was a fake 100. I don't even know if you remember that shit. Word, man.
A fake 100 for what? What was y'all getting paid?
We was on. I think we was on
Added
promo.
it,
We was
what?
on promo. We was doing
They stuck
promo
it in
shit.
there. They stuck the money in there with the
I
rest
think it
of the
was
money.
100. Cause remember, even when we did the showboat out here, we wasn't getting paid like that, yo. We was going out had to, you know, you got to work your way. You got to grind. It's the difference between now and then. You know what I mean? You had to really go in there and get it. But I remember we getting $100 and yo, I don't know what the fuck we did with it, but it was that. But we wanted to get on. You know what I'm saying? And that was And then over time. But then like the year too, it was just like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, hell yeah.
It was a plan, family. It was like we wasn't worried about them. We wasn't worrying about them little coins at first. You know what I mean? We wanted it though. Like pass that on.
Right.
But you had to you got to pay your dues. It was like, yo. So I remember Onyx was getting paid a little something. And I'm like, damn, we ain't really getting paid nothing. You know what I mean? But after a while, that shit just was like, we was so much on fire. That shit just out of here,
Out of
It
here.
was like, yo, but that's how shit go.
In the beginning, people didn't want to hear Wu-Tang. People uptown was like, ain't got no time for that, man.
What are you talking about?
What they
Island
talking
niggas.
about? Right. What they talking about? They got kung fu sounds in the record.
I'm not gonna front. I didn't want to hear him the first time I saw them rock was at Jones Beach for the Greek Fest.
Greek Fest, yeah.
My man took me out there. I was like 14 years old. Shout out to Earl. Earl took all the young boys out there in this car like, you need to see what this is all about.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I saw Wu-Tang come out and perform right there, right on that stage. And I was like, from there, I checked in for them right after that.
I think Fox used to play Kung Fu movies on Sunday.
Yeah.
I love that shit. So
Yeah.
when I heard Wu-Tang, I was like, oh, this is great. 2 things I love in one. I know these movies.
Yeah.
Like the little quotes they was taking from like Crying Freeman and all that stuff. I knew all those movies. So I was like, yo, this is dope. This fire. It had a different meaning for me.
What was it like when Protect Your Neck hit the streets? Because living it was different, because I remember going to school and watching girls in my class drawing the Wu-Tang logo.
First of all, when you pulled up, you was like, there's how many members?
Right. So
Wait a minute.
the story is when RZA comes to me, because RZA's not giving you that type of music prior to Wu-Tang.
Right.
It's Prince Rakeem.
He's Prince Rakeem. Oh,
Prince
I
Rakeem.
love you, Rakeem.
Right. It's mad happy.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And so you like, okay. So then the next time I see him, he's like, yeah, I got something new. So I was like, all right. I'm expecting this Prince Rakeem, you know? Right. And so I put it in. It's like, was this the same person rapping? Nah, we got Mad Chambers, son. I'm like, what? And I'm like, what just happened? So, you know, RZA, I switched it up, right? I switched it up. So I'm like this, like, okay. And so it was a whole different RZA. It was a different part. Well, yeah, it was a different presentation, let's put it that way. And so that was like, okay, it didn't exist like how they were doing it. But once you got into the lyrics, and Wu-Tang was something that I had to listen to over and over again, because there were certain things I missed. I was like, let me listen to that again. What did he just say? And so I had to go back, which I thought was kind of dope that I had to go back and listen to it again because, you know, I think that I know everything and I'm like, I don't understand what he's saying right here. So, which was fine, which made it, I don't know, for me, as
Stretch
a
the
consumer
imagination.
of hip hop, right, or of anything.
Right.
If I go to Disney World, I'm like, let's go on that ride again. Let's check that out again. What just happened? You know, I'm just kind of like that. Like I want to know more about it. You know, I'm curious. And so that's what Wu-Tang was. And I think it was a slow burn in the beginning because it was like, people were kind of like, okay, what's this? Ralph keep playing, he would play this thing every week. They didn't even have a record deal yet.
Right.
It was just RZA did it, made the song, gave me the video, and they didn't have no deal. It wasn't until like maybe, I don't know, less than a year that Loud Records pops up and says, we're gonna sign Steve Rifkin, who was a radio promoter. Last time I saw him, now he has a record label. And he goes, yo man, you know, I'm trying to sign Wu-Tang. I said, that'd be dope, you know. And next thing I know, I get another version of it and it says Loud Records on it. And so I said, okay, so I guess he signed them.
Dang.
And then immediately that's when RZA comes to me and says, yo man, I gotta do another video. You wanna do the video? I said, yeah. So he says, I'm gonna send you the song Cream. And I was like, all right. And I put it in, I was like, what? Casuals, everything around. Get the money.
So that's why you did the Coliseum block.
Right.
No,
that was Ice Cream.
Oh, ice cream, I'm bugging.
Right, so I did Cream.
Cream and ice, yeah.
We
ice
did Cream was in.
My bad.
So, you know, I'm a dude that pays attention to the boroughs.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. Queens, Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Harlem ain't really feeling Wu-Tang like that. We gotta take, because all their videos is mostly shot in Staten Island.
Yo, that's fun.
So-
And Brooklyn.
Right, in Brooklyn.
You
So
hit
I'm-
Bargain Bazaar.
Right.
I recognize. I'm like, yo, I hit Bargain Bazaar right there. It's crazy.
So we gon' so that cats like that, you are gonna be like, yo, they was in Harlem?
Word. They was in Brooklyn. They was in. Oh
Right.
wow.
So we, you know, Willie Burgers, the little, what? That was, wait a minute, that's uptown.
Right.
I told that to Raekwon years later. He said, oh, you had a plan. I said, yeah. I said, because I felt like when I mentioned Wu-Tang or, you know, I was somewhere and we playing Wu-Tang or talking about Wu-Tang, cats was like, no, I'm not really feeling it right now. And
It was for us.
and it was for a certain group who still ride with it to this day. And that was it. And then they came with Ice Cream when you know, Purple Tape.
Right.
And you know, it wasn't the Purple Tape yet, but it was gonna be. And you know, and they, you know, can you do Incarcerated Scarface and Ice Cream? That's a A side, B side.
Right.
And so I did Incarcerated Scarface right here on First Avenue on 118th Street in Manhattan.
Wow.
And I did
Ice cream.
Ice Cream in Queens at the Coliseum because the Coliseum was hot.
Coliseum block.
Yeah.
That's
Shirt
the block.
cans.
That's the block.
Yeah.
Right.
Everybody used to
Sneakers,
go-
everything.
Right. They had everything.
Barbershop, the chicks, everything.
Yeah.
On Wu-Tang Records,
Right.
Method Man on one side, Protect Your Neck on the other
Another
side.
side.
I said, bet. I'll listen to this shit. I had the ill white BBSs on it, ill white fucking Toyota joint. Skirt set on the back, pull the speaker out, pull the radio out, speakers in the back. I get in this shit, the shit changed my life. I was like, how do they make 8 niggas sound like one nigga? Like this.
Yeah.
Then I turn over, I'm like, who the fuck is an M-E-T-H-O-D man?
Yeah.
I was like, yo, this shit is incredible.
Yeah.
And I was hooked. And I don't give a fuck. Anybody watch this shit, you want to argue with me? Leave a comment, nigga. The Wu-Tang is the greatest
Leave it in the comments.
that ever lived, in my opinion, because of what they were able to do. What they did was take what Herbie did to the next level. Herbie had Salt and Pepper, Kwame, Kid and Play, Dana Dane, all of them, right, Sweet Tea, signed under his label, under his production company, and then got them all individual deals, but they weren't one group.
Ain't nobody in history do that.
RZA had everybody signed, right?
Wu-Tang
And
Records.
then Loud had a first right to refusal on everybody. So if Loud didn't want them, they was able to go other places and get other deals for them.
Right.
Right? Well, Loud, you know, if you saw the Wu-Tang and American Saga, which is incredible,
Yeah.
you should see that. You'll see that RZA told Steve, you can have Wu-Tang because in them days, if you signed, right, when No Face signed to Def Jam, it was No Face for 7 albums, and then if Ed Lover wants to do his own thing, Ed still signed to Def Jam. Mark Sexton signed to Def Jam. Shy signed to Def Jam. RZA didn't sign that kind of deal. And that was unfucking precedented.
Never heard of it.
Right? Them niggas did work, bro.
When I met RZA, I met him on my birthday, 1993, excuse me. March 2nd, 1993. And I was with E Swift. And I've been trying to reach, he was then just Prince Rakim, he wasn't RZA at the time. I was trying to reach him for months. And he just showed up at the RCA office. He had no idea if I was in New York, not in New York, that's so on. And he just showed up. He said, the guys are downstairs. So when I heard the record, the guy by the name of Trevor Williams, who again was one of my promotion guys, found the record through our guy in Michigan, through college radio.
Michigan.
And his name was Jason State. So I was like, there's no hook on the record. I didn't know there were 9 guys in the group either, right? You know, but I was like, this record is different. And it's just like, and I really, me being from New York, I wanted something in New York. So when they came, the office was as big as where we all are, literally. And here's the door, and they're performing the record live, and E Swift is literally have to stand on the edge of the thing where the window is. So I'm in a guest office, and somebody comes in like in an overall, like, you know, like a building like uniform, and says, "That's that shit," and smacks his hand like that. And I never saw him again. So to this day, I don't know if RZA set me up and sent somebody in,
Right.
or if this guy was really a custodian at the BMG building on 6th Avenue at the time. So we start talking, and everybody says, well, why would you let them all have solo records? So I managed New Edition in the late 80s, and that's the reason how I ended up in LA. So Ralph wanted to leave the group, and that's how Johnny Gill got in the group, just in case Ralph left the group and we have a lead singer. And the truth of the matter is, even if you take the Jacksons or the Jackson 5 and Michael, yeah, Michael might have been a bigger solo artist, but at the end of the day, when it came time for that Jackson reunion tour, that was a 3 times bigger tour than the Michael Jackson tour. So the group to me is always bigger than
The solo.
the solo.
Right.
So I said, I don't give a fuck. It's survival of the fittest, right? Like, they can do what they have to do. Like, as long as we have first right. And we got it. You know, they agreed to the first right. I blew a temper tantrum. I had a temper in those days. They did, you know, they said, this is crazy. I was like, I don't give a fuck. Like, this has to be done. And that's why I allowed the solo members. And plus I had the marketing company, and I knew I was going to, you know, my prices were going up. I knew, you know, that there was also, I was going to be making some money too, knowing that I'd be promoting these records.
Right.
So
you pretty much cornered the whole shit, because when I look at Wu-Tang and how everything unfolded, you had pretty much the whole group, but you had other labels promoting the artists, which in turn was promoting the group, because every album had all the group members on it.
right, and the thing with me being on the road for 3 years, and I'll tell that story next. Retail really tried to help us more than the average label. Like, we were, yeah, you had your sales team, but when I lived on the road for 3 years, if you were a record store, I treated you like you were BLS. Whatever you need, let me know. And I would call you guys whenever you know, there were no cell phones then, right? But, you know, if I got myself situated, if it's for a hotel room and somebody's office, I'm calling everybody. I'm calling radio, I'm calling retail, right? Video jukebox is starting, you know, Yo is starting. So I'm calling wherever I could get something exposed.
Video jukebox.
You know, and you know, and the one thing that I learned, it's not what you know sometimes, it's who you know. And like we spoke earlier, like if you speak your truth, you're gonna be cool. We could we could agree to disagree and still shake hands and be, you know, and walk out the door and have dinner and laugh and everything else like that. Right. So
every time,
you know, but so that's what I did. So when I'm just saying ODB for the sake of saying ODB, when his album came, the record stores, and I'm not talking about the chains, I'm not talking about the Best Buys, the Music Lands, I'm talking about the Rock and Souls of the world, the Downtown Records, you know, but, you know, across the country. Music and More in Birmingham, Alabama. Like, they would call, they said, what do you want us to do with this ODB record? I said, what do you mean? He goes, do what you have to do with it. He goes, but put it next to the Wu-Tang record. It was usually in those, you know, like in the bins, everything's in alphabetical order.
Right.
And so we had retail working for us, stuff like that. He goes, so when Dirty's album came, you would see a Wu album. When Jizz's album came, you had the Dirty album, you had the Wu album. You know, I'm just, you know, how, you know, and that's how we did it.
RZA's is a genius. Of course, we all figured that out a long time ago. And to get all the guys back together and to monetize a tour to the point where it's like, what kind of spin could you put on it to put asses in seats and shit? We have a legacy, and the motherfucker, he killed it. He was like, you know, you call it the final tour, that'll put asses in seats. And this is just my opinion, you know. I don't know if that's exactly how he thought about it, but you had, when you look into the crowd, you had people our age, gray-haired white people, gray-haired old people, beards, but they were there with their kids. And not just kids, these were like adult children, you know what I mean? And they were vibing and knew the words to the record. So it was like, this was an experience where we didn't have this intention, but we bridged the gap between young and old and found a common denominator, and it was us. And that shit was so fucking beautiful that RZA put that spin on it because, again, you took it from just being a show and made it an experience. And not only that, you validated a lot of parents on, why do you play that fucking old ass music, Pops? This is why. Check these dudes out. You know?
Y'all make timeless fucking music though, bro. You gotta think, Ice Cream, bro. That's a record that you would forever be able to play, bro.
My brothers, I think everyone did exactly what they were supposed to do. Or you know what? I'll take that statement back. The people that got in the position to do what they were supposed to do, they did it well. Blessings to the brothers that weren't as fortunate enough to come in that first wave, because honestly, and I'm gonna keep it a buck, it got swallowed up behind a bunch of others. And not saying those others did not deserve to get their moment to shine, because you never know who's gonna be the next big one.
Right.
But yeah, some brothers deserved slots that came a lot earlier and they didn't get it. Salute to them for being big enough men to say, I'll wait, you know, until their turn actually came. But honestly, none of us eat without the whole team. And we eat better with the whole team. I can tell you, me and Redman's tour buses be a whole hell of a lot different than the Wu-Tang tour buses. And the Wu-Tang hotels. You know, you would think it's just me and Doc. We would get, you know. Yeah, we ain't too, what do you call that? We not bougie niggas, but I like the bougie shit every now and then. Wu-Tang stay bougie. Best hotels and shit. The fucking tour buses be like, woo, and I be like, damn, if our tour bus is dope, I wonder what RZA's shit look like. You heard me right, RZA.
RZA's still out there snapping out.
RZA's the type of brother that'll pay for his own space. That's why you gotta respect that.
Yeah.
Don't take nothing out of nobody else's pocket. Like, I want to have my little shit over here, and it'd be the best shit too. Them white people take good care of RZA, boy.
Oh, that restaurant. You went to the restaurant on the West Coast?
I don't know. And if it is, like I said, them white people take good care of it.
Shit's good.
Why do you think there isn't still like a next generation Wu-Tang that, or just a Wu-Tang label?
No, let me shit.
That'll do it.
You know,
that'll do it.
I mean, the same question can be asked of pro athletes whose sons follow in their footsteps. Sometimes they won't. Sometimes their father played football and they wind up playing basketball, and vice versa. But it's not going to spark in all of your children, but the ones that it does spark in, you want to support them enough to let them know that even if you ain't good at it, I'm gonna tell you that you're good at it. Nah, I'm playing. To give them that.
I don't do that shit.
No, you can't do that shit. Fuck no. You inhibit the shit out your baby. You give them the support to let them know that you come from a great lineage, and it's possible for you to do this and be great at it.
Right.
Yeah.
How many kids is out there right now?
No, we're not doing that, brother.
Nah, I know.
Wu-Tang kids?
Wu-Tang kids,
No,
right?
we're not doing that, bro.
Numbers too strong?
Yeah. That's like asking the Jacksons.
Oh shit, I got you.
You know what I mean? And two of them niggas got babies by the same woman.
I got no. Listen,
that kind of shit. No, not even no Wu-Tang shit though. Let's not get viral. No, none of that shit going on Wu-Tang. But I like to. If it's about the music, it's about the music.
Right now, how many out of the children are artists? I know there's a collective right now.
Oh, you mean that do music?
Yeah,
I don't know. You can't ask me. I don't know. Wow. I don't know. It's a gang of them now. And they all suck. No,
Tell me about the day 9 of y'all packed into a room and performed in front of Steve Rifkin.
Oh, Steve, did we ever get the chance to do that shit?
For all of us?
Yeah. Nah, RZA just took on the music, right?
Yeah, nah, he came out to one of our sessions. And he caught us in action. So it was like, they got footage out there, whatever. He was in the studio. I think we was at what was that kid name that used to be doing all the Lucky, what was his name?
What's that?
Black kid that used to be he was like a host or something. Like a BET host type, but he was hanging with us. Lefty or something. Some shit, but make a long story short, I remember Steve coming to our studio and RZA brought him in and I think we was working on records like Cream and certain records. So he was up in the mix and hearing a couple of rhymes. And next thing you know, I guess he might have felt like, yo, these niggas' energy is different. But we never got like niggas got up there on the Temptations. Niggas like,
shit.
you
never do that.
Yeah, nah.
do that for a nigga? Get the fuck
I thought Steve, I gotta go check the footage.
Yeah.
I gotta check the footage. But Steve loved you guys, man. He said,
Nah.
I still call him the boss, my nigga.
Actual fact. Actual fact. You know what it is.
Save niggas' lives, man.
That's great.
Think you threw a chair through a window to get the budget for your album?
Some shit like that. He didn't throw it through like, he wanted to, but it's like he threw it through a door window. But I wasn't there. I heard about it. You know what I mean? He got locked up and all that shit, whatever. But he was passionate because he felt like, yo, get them niggas they money. Give them the money. See, Steve knew where to go get the money. He ain't had the money. But he was connected.
Word.
You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
His whole background is like, they on some gangster shit, but they paid their dues in the industry. Right. So, him being a spoiled kid, he brought something back home. It's like his son coming home and he like, yo, Dad, check this shit out. He's like, what you got, man? Give me this shit. What the fuck is this?
Word.
Yo, you got something.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? You got something. Yo, let me make some calls. Right. So Steve was like that, but at that time, niggas wasn't running around with a group that big. So I guess for him, he had to get validations from, DJ niggas around him that he knew.
Right.
Because Steve was already, knowing Matty C, all these niggas, and Scott Breeze, and
And be honest with you, he didn't have no money though.
Man.
He didn't have no money. He just said, yo, listen, because I think we did the first album for maybe 30 G's, like something like that. 60? Yeah, some shit like that, little shit.
60.
You know what I mean? And that shit probably went to studio time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was in Concrete the night y'all came in there, yo. Word the mother, yo. Word. I was in there. My man was doing engineering in there. I was walking around in socks for 3 days for free studio time. This nigga came and started talking about my socks. Yo, you look like you walking on the moon, little nigga. I ain't forget you, nigga. Word to my mother. Yo, I ain't forget you, my guy. Word to my, I got a picture. Here's how fucked up I was as a kid, yo. This nigga, I was like, this nigga, what the fuck is this nigga? You know what I'm saying? This is pre-everything. What the fuck is this nigga?
Oh, shit.
This nigga was drawing all night, like a pad or some shit. I stole a picture. Give me this shit.
Oh shit!
Still got the picture. It's like, nigga, this nigga could draw. I can sit here and tell you, this nigga. This
probably was sketching something.
It was like an action figure with an 8-ball on his chest. Give me this shit.
Oh shit!
wow.
Yo, you crazy? Yo,
You still got it?
Yeah, I got it. It's in my mom's crib. I got an X-Clan crown and the whole shit. I've been in this shit for a minute.
oh shit! That's crazy.
Word. I got some shit in the crib. That shit.
Oh, speaking of
Put that
which,
shit on motherfucking. When you do it with that, what's that site? You sell that motherfucker.
eBay? Nah, I'm not. I'm not selling nothing, man. This is my life, man.
Man, that's live right there.
you need to
Yeah.
get some signatures after
But nah,
this.
but you know what happened? Going back to Stick, we trusted him. You know what I mean? He came up like, yo, I really get, but I could get y'all out there. And that was so, to RZA, when he came back and told us, that's what really sold the deal. That's what made it. Like, yo, we just went with what he said. And it happened. Word. So I, like Ray said, as family, that's like, yo, we love him like for life. He done fed niggas like, you know what I mean? Word, bro.
He fed him too.
Yeah, exactly. You know, but that's how, in the beginning, with a bunch of niggas, that's just how it was. Like, hey, RZA had shot it to like Def Jam and this and that, and the niggas was fronting like, it's too many of them. Like, and then some motherfuckers wanted to, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
but then some motherfuckers was like, no, I don't want them to break up. I wanted someone. I think Russell Simmons said that to him. Like, I want them all. So I don't want nobody to go as a whole. That's when RZA really did his thing because he gave us a chance to like, yo, you can go over here, you go over here, you go over here, you go over here. And
But
that was
part of the deal.
But the genius of it was y'all had pretty much every major label who had hip hop artists working marketing for Wu-Tang.
Right.
So when y'all came back together for the second joint,
Oh yeah, definitely.
it was crazy.
Definitely. But it was
crazy.
yeah.
I mean, I remember they all, at one point, it was like 3 different labels all promoting, like they had like a Wu-Tang section. So they was getting promo from 3 different labels, pretty much promoting other niggas' record companies.
Yeah,
It was wild.
Yeah.
It was the wildest time. When they was like, yo, we can't believe this deal that these niggas got. Yeah, that was...
But that was the sacrifice for that 60. You know what I'm saying? See, one thing about my niggas is like, niggas is smart. You know, it's a chess game. It was a chess game from the beginning. It's like knowing your worth. You know your worth, nigga. You know you gotta sacrifice it, you know? It's like knowing you got a good opportunity, and if you don't take it, you know, it's like you gotta figure out a way to be able to say, yo, I gotta make it work, but I gotta still stand for something. So we always stood for something. And we knew that walking in any deal, niggas is not dismantling nothing. You know what I mean? We don't know who coming first, we don't know who coming last, but we coming together. And it took a nigga like Riff to be like, yo, I'll do that, but I ain't got no money, but I got relationships. So us, we thinking like street niggas, and they got plugs.
The plug, right.
Right. We gonna know your plug in a minute, nigga.
I take the plug. Yeah,
We gonna know him.
I take the plug.
We gonna know him in a minute.
I take the plug.
So come on, we take the plug. Let's fuck it, take the plug.
What gave y'all the confidence? Because first of all, y'all was doing something that was never done before. You had classic kung fu flicks, audio running through the tracks. Like the first time you heard it, did you say, yo, this is gonna work? Or was you like, nah, son, take this shit off?
With the flicks, I mean, adding the flicks into the music.
It's Hoffa, trapper turn smack rapper. Only smack rapper that you know is smack rapper.